inviting me here to participate in this today. Thank you, Gene, also for the invitation. It's nice to see you, and congratulations on such a great event. It's nice to see the turnout here. Thank you, Steve, also for the introduction. We appreciate that very much. I'm going to share just a little bit about Belkin and who we are and how we view the world, and then I'll talk a little bit about our relationship with Navitas. We do care deeply about a few things, and these are pillars that we've established across our organization that we talk about with all of our partners around the world. We have an office in El Segundo. It took me about 15 minutes to get here today, so that was really, really nice. We've invested in labs and industrial design, and for us it starts with consumer insights. So we really want to understand how do consumers want to interact with technology, what do they need to get the most out of their technology, and how do we design products to make that happen. We've invested in these facilities for the last 40 years. We moved into our new facilities in El Segundo just over a few years ago, and when I look around this space, I see a lot of the sort of inviting things that you want to see in an office just like ours. So because we have those spaces and we're able to react very quickly, we can fast prototype using that consumer insights input that we've received to design products. And part of that leads to our relationship with Navitas and building products into those solutions. We also care deeply about the environment. Sustainability is a hot topic. Climate change is obviously a hot topic. We care deeply about those things. We ship in excess of 150 million units per year to our consumers around the world. And we know we need to be really cognizant of the impact we're making around that and make choices in the kind of products we're designing and bringing to market to help reduce the impact that we're making. And I'll share a little bit more about that in just a moment. We also care about the community that we're in. We talked about Southern California. We've been here for 40 years. I've worked at Belkin for just about 20 years now, so I've been there for quite a while. And we invest a lot in the community around us. We have an on-site school that we host that hosts about 60 students that are having an opportunity to earn college credits while they're going to high school and earning their high school education. So it's quite different for us. We think it matters, and we think it matters for the communities that we serve, that we do those sorts of things. So just a little bit of history on us. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into our efforts around sustainability. As I mentioned, we're shipping a lot of products into the world every year, and we need to take steps to try and reduce the impact that plastics are having in our environment, and the waste that's generated by the products that we're serving. Of course, we want to make sure that we're developing and building and bringing to market high-quality products so that you don't need to just rebuy them all the time, right? We want them to be high quality and make a difference in the world. We have also made a big shift in our products as well, where we're building post-consumer recycled materials into all of our products now, or excuse me, in the first 200 or so products that we're shipping now, which is dramatically reducing waste. It's dramatically reducing the amount of virgin plastics that we need in our products. We think that that's the path that we're going to stay on as an organization. So we're tackling Scope 1 and 2 emissions. Scope 3 emissions are right around the corner. This is a very difficult thing to solve for, but we're committed to doing it. We're doing it because it's the right thing for us, for the consumers. We think it matters, and the right thing for the environment as well. So we have aspirational targets to reduce those Scope 3 emissions quite a bit. And as you're learning more about this and hearing more about that, just know that Belkin is focused on doing the things that we need to do to make a positive contribution to the climate and the environment around us. We invest a lot in relationships. Navitas is one of those relationships. We work with some of the biggest device manufacturers in the world, and we've had a long history of building what we believe to be our really complementary accessories to the hero devices that we interact with every day. So it's a big focus for us. We want to work with the best and the brightest companies in the world. It helps us stay in front of the technology curve. As you know, you've got a new, potentially iPhone in your hand. That iPhone now operates on USB-C. So how do we make sure that we are designing products that are going to meet those needs early enough and is going to charge optimally? We need to invest in those relationships to have that kind of visibility. And so we combine that with the consumer insights that we're bringing to the market, and that's how we stay relevant and how we've stayed relevant for the last 40 years. And we think that the combination of all those things are going to lead us to the next 40 years of our growth. So what are we doing with Navitas? If you reflect on this product on the left, this is a straightforward GaN product. It has a single output port and is 140 watts. The product on the right that leverages GaN technology has 4 ports. So you're saving a lot of space, you're saving a lot of material. It's made from that post-consumer recycled plastic that I mentioned, so it's better for the environment. We also use plastic-free packaging, and of course, you could take one charger to serve everything, so you don't have to have a bag full of chargers and accessories to meet all your needs. So we're able to do that because of the GaN Sense technology that we've integrated into these products, and our teams are working very closely with John Steven, I saw him over there, to help develop these products and bring them to market. The next one I'm going to talk about is this laptop wall charger. So on the left-hand side is the first product that we designed with, one of the first products we designed with Navitas that leverage GaN fast. If you look at the one on the right, you can see the footprint is substantially smaller. So because of the efficiency that you can get from using GaN technology, your thermal issues are much smaller. So you can design much smaller products, reducing the amount of plastic that's required, make it much lighter, and of course, that all contributes to the environmental issues that I'm talking about while you're still getting the performance that you need with a product like this. So we're talking about this to the press. We're talking about this to the people who will listen. We're leveraging this with the influencers that we work with. These are some of the examples that we have around people that are taking notice, talking about GaN and talking about our relationship and what we're doing in this space. People are paying attention. So watch this space. I think you're going to see it continue to grow. Here's the visual of the product. So these are the sorts of videos that we're showing to consumers and to our customers. This one happened to run in a very public location together with Navitas. We designed that and are telling the story around GaN and what it can do. We like that product lineup a lot. It's resonating a lot with our customers and consumers alike, and we're really proud to be working with Navitas. So thank you very much.
Our mission from the beginning is not just to build a company, not just to build a cool technology, frankly, not even a GaN chip. The future is green, the future is Navitas, the future is electricity. Thank you, everyone.
So I'm pleased to present DG Matrix to you. We have a very unique power conversion engine that can apply to 3 multi-billion-dollar markets. 98 to 99% of that engine is common across microgrid, EV charging alone or EV charging with microgrid, and in data center application. This is a picture that was completed by the top consulting firm in the world. When we brought them in to realize how big this market was, we asked for their help. And they gave us a vision that's clearly expressed in these slides, that with the reduced materials we use and the high level of integration we offer, we can electrify villages in Nigeria, schools in Indonesia, medical clinics in Saudi Arabia, or anywhere else on the planet. We're trying to create a cellular micro-utility, and we are releasing the first pilots in Q1 of this coming year. Do you realize that disrupts a multi-trillion-dollar industry without putting in huge infrastructure? The first product that we are releasing is a 200 kilowatt EV charger. This charger is 1/4 to 1/10 the size of anybody else. You're going to see the metrics coming up in just the next 1 or 2 slides. In addition, we can combine PV, batteries, EV, fuel cells, distributed generation, or multi-fuel generation in a unit double the size of the one that's shown. Nobody else has this technology. We can put up EV charging solutions on highways where there is no utility. And we can use the same system to also power up buildings with incredibly high surge current loads. None of this would be possible without game-changing semiconductors like silicon carbide. And we're very pleased to get help from Navitas on how to apply their lowest RDS(on), that's a measure of how much loss you get and how much surge power you can provide, transistors in our applications. Here is a comparison of our charger versus brand B. They've been around 8-10 years. Brand T They've been around 20 years. Brand C, the 400 kilowatt unit, who has spent $1 billion of development money, and look at the metrics of where they are and look at the metrics of where we are. We are so much more dense, not our people, but our chargers, right? And that density, you know what it translates to? It translates to the least amount of heat that's being generated in these chargers. It translates to a far smaller footprint that can go into Manhattan, that can go into downtown LA, that can go into Seattle, where large chargers are not going to fit that easily. It's creating a multi-billion-dollar TAM just by the size alone. The fact that you can now manufacture this in 1 labor hour, final assembly of our product is 1 labor hour. The final assembly of industry is 20 to 30 labor hours. So we need only 20 to 30 people to produce $100 to $200 million of chargers, 1,000 to 2,000 chargers, in a factory just slightly larger than what you're seeing here in this room where we're all sitting. That is a huge impact on sustainability and decarbonization. Why? You only need 20 to 30 people to come into the factory every day. That's it. You don't need 200 to 300 people. You don't need a factory footprint of 200,000 square feet to do it, maybe 15,000 square feet. So it's all enabled by silicon carbide at first, a new circuit that we're pioneering, complex controls that we're dumbing down, and a cooling technology that we're trying to make better. We look forward to even the next generation beyond this in cooperation with Navitas, and we think that we can leapfrog ourselves once again with their help. That is a comparison for fleet charging using our standard 200 kilowatt building block against Brand C. Brand C did $250 million last year, up double, more than double from their backlog. And now you can see why we have a $1 billion+ pipeline. We have so many customers interested in pioneering our products in the field. The volume difference and the footprint difference is huge. Every major fleet aggregator that we spoke with at the last big show in Las Vegas says they can't fit Brand C or Brand A. Brand A is a multi-billion-dollar global conglomerate, and with their thousands of engineers, we have leapfrogged them with our technology enabled by silicon carbide. Ports, suburban FedEx stations, Amazon delivery stations, they don't have the room. Any one of those customers could be a $100, $200, $500 million account for us, and we have many of those folks lining up for pilots. Here is another thing that we're changing in this industry. Our technology is putting out a LRU, line replaceable unit, at 200 kilowatts. That's a fraction of the size of people at 40 kilowatts. If you look at the amount of kilowatts per liter, this unit measures about 18 kilowatts per liter, if my math is correct. That's far beyond the charts that you just saw today. There are 2 converters. The other one is about 7 to 8 kilowatts per liter. So we're industry leading already. And what we think we can do in the next step with their help is going to be even smaller. So if we are going to decarbonize, we are going to electrify, why don't we use radically less material in doing it? And by the way, that's far cheaper and simpler to repair and send via FedEx than that 220 kilogram set of LRUs on the other side. Why silicon carbide and why Navitas? Well, we tested a number of devices, some of them from very large companies, some of them from other companies, and we found Navitas performance for the on-time resistance of the device to be best in class for whatever we have tested to date. That gives us an industry-leading efficiency of 95 to 97%. In addition, if we want to increase that efficiency, which is desirable for lowering operating costs, all we have to do is buy more silicon carbide from Navitas. That's it. I thought you would like to hear that. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. If DG Matrix doesn't make it, I hope to launch a second career in comedy. So in addition, we have tested their devices, and the high voltage breakdown nature is astounding. how much it can take in spikes, which really points to the resiliency when you put this on dirty grids, right? You're going to put this on a dirty grid in a developing country, you're going to see a lot of sag, surges, and spikes. So that high voltage breakdown in case you have an escape is very, very helpful. But I think the most helpful thing that we find about Navitas is not based on physics or high voltage breakdowns. It's based on the culture and the collaboration and the openness and the warmth that these folks greet us with, and they treat us as if we're somebody special. That is what drives the relationship to be a true partnership and not a transactional relationship. We are not after the lowest cost silicon carbide. We're happy that they make 50% margin. There's more than enough money to go around. We want that relationship so we can leapfrog once again with their help. That pipeline comes from channel partners, it comes from OEMs, and it comes from end users or users that will be deploying the chargers on their fleets. You see some of the statements, and the number one consulting firm, I'm not allowed to name them, has pointed out that we have the most potential to revolutionize the EV charging landscape. So one day, we hope to be holding an investor day also and show you what our growth is. Today, we're just launching pilots. In addition, there are customers that are pointing this out, and some of those multi-billion-dollar conglomerates are in chats with us to source our charger, but put their brand name on it. That's all we have. Thank you very much for listening.